Listen closely. What you are about to hear is not a prediction. It is a warning. December 21st, 2025 is not just another winter solstice. This is a cosmic reckoning, an energetic crossroads, a soul test designed to separate those who are ready to evolve from those who will remain trapped in cycles they no longer serve. The universe is about to demand a sacrifice, and only 4 zodiac signs will pass through this portal with their power intact. This is not astrology. This is initiation. This is the moment your destiny pivots. And before we begin, leave a like and subscribe and comment, "I accept the test." As you listen, you may feel a tightness in your chest, a heaviness in your stomach, or an inexplicable knowing that something monumental is shifting beneath the surface of reality. Your intuition recognizes what your mind cannot yet comprehend. At exactly 10:03 in the morning Eastern Time, 15:03 Universal Time, the sun enters Capricorn and the winter solstice arrives, marking the darkest day of the year. But darkness is not what you fear. Darkness is revelation. Darkness is the womb where transformation gestates. Darkness is the universe stripping away illusion so truth can finally be born. This is the longest night humanity has experienced in over a decade, and the universe has chosen this exact moment to activate a test so powerful, so unforgiving, that only those anchored in their authentic power will emerge unshaken. Today, the cosmic laws shift. Today, sacrifices must be made. Today, the universe separates the awakened from the asleep. The winter solstice is not simply the shortest day of the year. It is the moment when the sun reaches its southernmost position in the sky, appearing to stand still before reversing direction and beginning its slow return northward. The word solstice comes from the Latin sol meaning sun and sister meaning to stand still. The sun stands still today, and so must you. This is the pause before the pivot, the silence before the storm, the cosmic breath between one reality and the next. Ancient civilizations understood this moment carried profound spiritual power. They built monuments like Stonehenge to honor the alignment of the sun on this exact day, recognizing it as a threshold between death and rebirth, between darkness and the slow return of light. Our ancestors feared that the sun might never return, that the world would remain frozen in perpetual winter. And so they performed rituals, lit fires, made offerings, sacrificed what they valued most to ensure the sun's return. Today, the universe asks for your sacrifice, not a physical one, but something far deeper. It asks you to release the version of yourself that no longer serves your evolution. It asks you to let go of the stories, patterns, attachments, fears, and comforts that have kept you small. It asks you to surrender the familiar so the extraordinary can emerge. This is not symbolic. This is energetic truth. When the sun enters Capricorn today, it does not arrive alone. It brings with it a cosmic reckoning that will expose every misalignment in your life, every lie you've told yourself, every compromise you've made, every attachment that drains your power. Capricorn energy is ruthless in its demand for truth. It does not tolerate pretense. It does not negotiate with weakness. It does not protect you from the consequences of avoiding your destiny. And today, as the sun enters this uncompromising earth sign, it aligns with a second cosmic force so intense, so confrontational, that it will bring buried wounds to the surface whether you are ready or not. At the exact same moment, the sun enters Capricorn. Jupiter at 22 degrees Cancer forms a precise square to Chiron at 22 degrees Aries. This is the second of 3 exact alignments in a 9-month cycle, and it arrives at the darkest moment of the year for a reason. Jupiter expands everything it touches. It magnifies, amplifies, inflates. It is the planet of growth, wisdom, abundance, and possibility. When Jupiter is well aspected, it brings blessings, breakthroughs, and expansive opportunities. But when Jupiter squares Chiron, the wounded healer, it does not expand your blessings. It expands your wounds. It magnifies the pain you have been avoiding. It amplifies the emotional residue you thought you buried. It inflates the parts of you that remain unhealed, forcing them into the light so you can no longer ignore them. Chiron represents your deepest wounds, the places where you feel broken, inadequate, or unworthy. It is the wound that never fully heals, the pain that resurfaces at critical moments, the vulnerability you hide from the world. And today, Jupiter squares Chiron, forcing you to confront exactly what you have been running from. This is not cruelty. This is mercy. The universe expands your wounds today because it knows you are finally strong enough to face them. It knows that healing only happens when you stop avoiding the pain and start integrating it. It knows that your greatest power lies on the other side of your deepest wound. This Jupiter-Chiron square brings a crisis of faith, a confrontation with beliefs that no longer serve you, a moment where the philosophy or worldview you once relied on suddenly feels inadequate. You may feel overwhelmed, confused, or isolated in your vision. Others may not understand what you are experiencing. You may question decisions you once believed were wise. You may feel like the universe is testing whether you truly believe in yourself or whether you are still seeking validation from external sources. This is the sacrifice the universe demands. It asks you to release the need for external approval. It asks you to stop seeking permission to become who you already are. It asks you to trust your own inner knowing even when the world around you doubts you. And for 4 zodiac signs, this sacrifice will unlock a level of power and purpose they have never experienced. But for those who refuse the test, who cling to old identities, who resist the wound that is rising to be healed, this solstice will mark the beginning of a painful unraveling. The universe does not force transformation. It invites it. And when you decline the invitation, it removes the scaffolding that was keeping false structures in place. Relationships built on codependency will collapse. Careers sustained by fear will dissolve. Identities constructed from trauma will crumble. Friendships rooted in old versions of you will fade. The universe is clearing your path, making space, removing distractions, so the connection, opportunity, and destiny meant for your highest timeline can finally enter. You may feel like you are losing everything, but beneath the loss is liberation. Every block removed is a doorway opened. Every ending is a redirection. Every sacrifice is an initiation into a higher frequency. Capricorn rules structure, discipline, responsibility, long-term vision, and mastery. When the sun enters Capricorn, it asks you to build something that lasts, to commit to goals that transcend immediate gratification, to step into leadership, authority, and accountability. This is the season of the architect, the strategist, the CEO of your own life. But today, that energy is complicated by the Jupiter-Chiron square, which reveals that the structures you have been building may be rooted in wounds rather than wisdom. You may have been working toward goals that do not truly align with your soul. You may have been chasing success to prove your worth rather than express your purpose. You may have been building a life designed to please others instead of honor yourself. The solstice exposes this misalignment. It forces you to ask the hardest question. Am I building the life I truly want, or am I building the life I think will finally make me enough? This question will determine whether you pass or fail the test. Only 4 zodiac signs are positioned to move through this portal with clarity, courage, and conviction. These signs have been prepared by recent transits, inner work, and spiritual recalibration to face the wound Jupiter-Chiron reveals and transform it into power. These are the signs that will not only survive the winter solstice test, they will be reborn through it. If you are one of these signs, the sacrifice the universe asks of you will feel impossible, yet inevitable. You will know what must be released. You will feel the pull toward a higher timeline. And though every part of you may resist, your soul will move forward because it recognizes this moment as destiny. Capricorn, this is your moment. The sun enters your sign today, And for the next 4 weeks, you are the embodiment of cosmic power, discipline, and transformation. This is not just your season. This is your test. The Jupiter-Chiron square activates your 7th house of partnerships and your 4th house of home, family, and emotional foundation. The universe is asking you to sacrifice relationships that no longer reflect your growth and emotional patterns that keep you trapped in the past. You may feel pulled between the life you have built and the life your soul is calling you toward. You may realize that the people you once needed no longer align with who you are becoming. You may understand that the home, family dynamic, or emotional security you clung to was built on fear rather than love. This is your sacrifice. Release the need to be needed. Release the identity of the one who holds everything together. Release the belief that your worth is measured by how much you endure. The test is whether you can choose yourself without guilt, whether you can walk away from what is familiar to claim what is aligned, whether you can trust that the universe will support you as you step into your power. If you pass, the next year will bring recognition, success, and the relationship or opportunity that matches your elevated frequency. If you resist, you will remain stuck in cycles that drain you. Aries, the Jupiter-Chiron square is happening directly in your sign. Chiron at 22 degrees Aries is your deepest wound around identity, self-worth, courage, and the right to take up space. Jupiter in Cancer squares this wound from your 4th house of home and family, expanding emotional pain tied to where you come from, how you were raised, and whether you ever felt truly safe. The universe is asking you to sacrifice the belief that you are not enough, the belief that you must constantly prove yourself, the belief that your value is tied to how much you achieve or how fiercely you fight. You have been running from a wound that tells you are too much or not enough, that you must soften to be loved or harden to be respected. Today, that wound is magnified so you can finally see it for what it is: a lie. Your sacrifice is the armor you built to protect yourself from rejection, the walls you constructed to avoid vulnerability, the constant need to be strong, independent, and unshakable. The universe is asking you to let people see you, to admit when you are hurt, to ask for help, to trust that you do not have to do everything alone. If you pass this test, the next chapter will bring a level of emotional freedom and authentic connection you have never experienced. If you resist, you will continue fighting battles that were never yours to begin with. Cancer, Jupiter is transiting your sign, expanding your emotional world, your sense of home, your connection to family, and your need for security. But today, Jupiter squares Chiron in Aries, your 10th house of career, public image, and life direction. The wound is around whether you are allowed to be ambitious, whether you can pursue your goals without abandoning your heart, whether success means losing the emotional connections that sustain you. The universe is asking you to sacrifice the belief that you must choose between your personal life and your purpose, the belief that caring for others means neglecting yourself, the belief that being nurturing, sensitive, and emotionally attuned makes you weak in the professional world. You have been hiding parts of your power because you feared they would alienate the people you love. You have been dimming your ambition because you did not want to seem selfish. You have been putting everyone else's needs first, believing that is what makes you valuable. Today, the universe expands this wound so you can see how much it has cost you. Your sacrifice is the role of caretaker when it is no longer reciprocal, the identity of the one who always sacrifices their dreams for others, the fear that stepping into your power will make you unlovable. If you pass this test, the next year will bring professional breakthroughs and the recognition that your sensitivity is your greatest strength. If you resist, you will continue feeling resentful and unseen. Libra, the Jupiter-Chiron square activates your 9th house of belief systems and your 1st house of self and identity. The wound is around whether you are allowed to have your own truth, your own vision, your own path, or whether you must constantly adjust to keep the peace. The universe is asking you to sacrifice the need to be liked, the need to maintain harmony at the expense of your authenticity, the need to avoid conflict even when it means betraying yourself. You have spent years moderating your opinions, softening your truth, playing small so others feel comfortable. You have convinced yourself that compromise is strength when sometimes it is self-abandonment. You have prioritized balance in relationships while neglecting balance within yourself. Today, the universe expands this wound, forcing you to see how much of yourself you have given away in the name of being agreeable, diplomatic, and pleasant. Your sacrifice is the version of you that says yes when you mean no, the version that smiles through discomfort, the version that believes your worth is tied to how well you keep everyone happy. If you pass this test, the next chapter will bring relationships rooted in mutual respect rather than performative harmony. If you resist, you will continue attracting people who take advantage of your inability to set boundaries. For those who are not among these 4 signs, the winter solstice still asks something of you. It asks you to witness the longest night without fear. It asks you to trust that even in the darkest moment, the light is already returning. It asks you to understand that sacrifice is not loss. It is release. And release is how you make space for what is meant to arrive. The days following this solstice will feel heavy, emotional, and confrontational. Wounds that have been buried for months or years will rise to the surface. Truths you have been avoiding will demand acknowledgement. Relationships that no longer serve you will reveal their cracks. Opportunities that are not aligned with your highest path will fall away. This is not punishment. This is preparation. The universe is clearing the runway for your next timeline. It is removing noise so you can hear your intuition. It is dismantling distractions so you can notice the signs. It is dissolving blockages so destiny can find you unobstructed. You are entering the phase where alignment becomes unavoidable, where synchronicities accelerate, where the blueprint of your future begins revealing itself piece by piece. This is the cosmic clearing before the arrival, the energetic reset before convergence, the final preparation before your timeline shifts into place. And as the portal strengthens, the blocks fall away naturally, effortlessly, inevitably. Because nothing can stop what is written. Nothing can resist what is aligned. Nothing can interfere with destiny once the universe begins moving on your behalf. The winter solstice brings one final truth. The sacrifice the universe asks of you is not random. It is precise. It knows exactly what you need to release to step into your power. It knows exactly which wound must be healed before you can receive what is coming. It knows exactly which pattern must dissolve before your destiny can unfold. You are not being tested because you are weak. You are being tested because you are ready. The universe does not waste initiations on those who are not prepared to pass them. You were chosen for this moment. You were guided to this message. You were meant to understand what is happening today. The longest night is not here to break you. It is here to reveal you, to strip away everything that is not truly you, to show you the power that has been waiting beneath the fear, the wounds, the armor, the stories. This is your rebirth. This is your transformation. This is your initiation. The sun enters Capricorn. Jupiter squares Chiron. The winter solstice portal opens, and the universe demands your sacrifice. What will you release? What will you surrender? What version of yourself are you finally ready to let die so the one you were always meant to become can be born? The answer to that question determines everything. Your timeline is shifting. Your destiny is unfolding. And this is only the beginning. If this message resonated with your soul, make sure you leave a like and subscribe and comment, "I accept the test," to anchor this energy into your reality. You are chosen, you are awakening, you are seen, and your transformation begins now.